The sky over New York was unusually clear that morning. People walked along the streets, their faces bright with the first sunlight of the season. The city had always been busy, but today, there was an unusual excitement in the air. News had spread fast. A visitor from another world was about to arrive. Not just any visitor, but a princess from a faraway star system. Her name was Lyra, and she was known across the galaxy for her wisdom, beauty, and the calm way she handled the greatest conflicts. Lyra's ship appeared in the sky with a soft hum. It did not make the loud noise people expected from most alien ships. Its surface shimmered like water in sunlight, reflecting the city below. People stopped in the streets, staring up. Children pointed, and some adults took pictures. The ship descended slowly, landing in a large, secure area near the research center where scientists had been preparing for her arrival for weeks. The gates opened, and Lyra stepped out. She was taller than most humans, but not uncomfortably so. Her skin had a soft glow, almost like moonlight, and her hair flowed like silk. She wore a simple gown that shimmered in colors that seemed to change with the light. People around her whispered and stared, but she did not seem to notice. She moved gracefully, her eyes scanning the humans around her with curiosity rather than fear or suspicion. The mayor of the city approached her with a calm smile. "Welcome to Earth, Princess Lyra," he said. "We are honored to have you." Lyra inclined her head politely. "Thank you," she said. Her voice was soft, but carried a strange authority. "I hope we can learn from one another." Scientists and diplomats had prepared a small tour of the research center. They wanted her to see Earth's progress in technology, medicine, and energy. Lyra followed quietly, observing everything with careful attention. She asked few questions, but when she did, they were thoughtful and meaningful. She seemed to understand more than most people expected. Among the people in the group was a young engineer named Alex Parker. Alex was not used to attention. He preferred to work quietly in the lab, building and testing machines without much notice. Today, however, he had been asked to guide Lyra through part of the research center. He felt nervous. He had heard stories about alien princesses, about how they could see through a person's mind and heart. He wondered if he could appear calm in front of her. When Lyra first saw him, she paused. It was not a moment of admiration, but curiosity. Most humans tried to impress her with words or show off machines, but Alex simply stood quietly, ready to assist if needed. There was something about his stillness, his honesty, that drew her attention. She smiled slightly and nodded at him, as if acknowledging that she had noticed something rare. Alex led her through the labs, showing her the experiments and answering her questions. She did not ask to see the most advanced machines or weapons, but rather the small projects that tested human creativity and patience. She asked why humans cared about such things, about small inventions and minor improvements. Alex explained that humans valued progress and learning, and that even small efforts could lead to great change. Lyra listened carefully. She was not bored. On the contrary, she felt a strange warmth at his words. No one else had spoken to her in this way. Most people tried to impress her, to gain her favor, or to show that they were important. Alex spoke simply, honestly, without trying to gain her approval. That honesty felt new, and it interested her deeply. The tour continued, and other humans tried to speak with her. Scientists offered advanced machines. Businessmen tried to make deals, and diplomats tried to gain alliances. Lyra listened politely but did not show excitement. Her eyes often returned to Alex, who moved quietly among the group, helping where needed and speaking only when asked. At lunch, the group sat in a bright dining hall. Food for the princess had been specially prepared, with flavors and textures that were meant to be appealing to alien taste. Lyra looked at the dishes with curiosity. Alex, who had been instructed to sit near her in case she needed explanations, helped her understand what each dish contained. She smiled at him again. "You are patient," she said softly. "Most humans would only speak about themselves or their achievements. You explain, without showing pride." Alex felt a flush of warmth. I just like to help," he said. His voice was calm, but he felt nervous under her gaze. Lara nodded. She did not reply immediately. Instead, she watched him as he spoke with others, answering questions and offering help without seeking attention. She noticed small things. How he smiled at the children outside the window. How he adjusted the chairs for the elderly scientists. How he always spoke politely and listened carefully. By the end of the day, Lara had seen many humans and many displays of talent. Yet, she found herself thinking more about Alex than anyone else. It was strange for her. As a princess, she was used to attention, to having powerful beings and leaders interested in her. But Alex did not seem interested in her as a princess. He saw her as a person. That difference made her heart feel something she had not expected. As the group walked back to the landing area, Lara stopped and looked at the city below. "This place is strange," she said quietly. "Humans are not strong compared to the stars I have seen. Your machines are simple. Your weapons are few. Yet, there is something here that feels alive. Something worth protecting." Alex glanced at her. "We try our best," he said humbly. "Sometimes we succeed. But we never stop trying." Lara turned her eyes back to him. "You have a rare spirit, Alex Parker," she said. "I have met humans who think they are strong, but they are proud in the wrong way. You seem honest." Alex looked down, unsure how to respond. "I'm just me," he said simply. "That is enough," Lara replied. She smiled faintly, a smile that held both curiosity and warmth. It was not meant to impress anyone, but to acknowledge a quiet truth. Later that evening, when the city lights glimmered and the sky turned soft orange and purple, Lara asked Alex to show her a quiet place nearby. The city had many tall buildings, but he led her to a small park filled with trees and flowers. It was peaceful, almost like a hidden world within the busy city. They walked along a narrow path, speaking about small things. The changing seasons, the way rain falls on leaves, how sunlight looks through branches. Lara listened closely, fascinated by the simplicity of human life. She had seen galaxies and stars, civilizations and wars, but the calm of this place felt like a new experience. "Humans find joy in small things," Alex said. "We cannot control the stars, but we can enjoy the moments we have." Lara nodded. She felt something she could not explain. "There is wisdom here," she said softly. "Not from machines, not from power, but from living. Perhaps humans have something I have not understood until now." Alex smiled. "Maybe. Or maybe it is just me." Lara laughed lightly. It was the first time she had laughed in a long while. "Perhaps," she said, "you are more important than you know." As night fell and the stars began to shine above the city, Lyra felt a quiet certainty. She had come to Earth expecting diplomacy, alliances, and discussions of power. Instead, she had found someone who did not seek power, someone who simply lived with honesty and care. That someone was Alex Parker. In her quarters later that night, she looked out at the city from above. She had to make choices that could affect the fate of many worlds. But for the first time, her thoughts were not only about duty or alliances, they were about a human who had shown her a new kind of courage, the courage to be ordinary, yet extraordinary in his heart. She closed her eyes, thinking of the day's events. She did not yet understand what would come next, but she knew one thing clearly. She wanted to learn more about this human. She wanted to see how his spirit could shape not only Earth, but perhaps even the galaxy. And so, as the stars shone brightly in the sky, the princess of the Crystal Alliance began to realize that the journey she had come to Earth for was not only about politics or diplomacy, it was also about something far more personal, a connection that no power in the galaxy could command, a bond that might change the destiny of two worlds. The next morning, the city was alive with whispers about Princess Lyra. Scientists, diplomats, and reporters all wanted to know her thoughts on Earth. Everyone hoped to gain favor, thinking that impressing her could bring their nation or company great advantage. But Lyra did not seem interested in flattery or status. Her eyes often found Alex Parker, quietly observing the world around him, helping where he could, and speaking only when he had something important to say. Alex felt uncomfortable with the attention he was getting. People stared, and he noticed their quiet judgments. Some seemed surprised that the princess, the most famous figure in the galaxy, spent time with a simple human. Others looked skeptical, thinking he was hiding some secret skill or power. But the truth was simple. Alex was just a man who worked hard, who cared for others, and who treated everyone with respect. Lyra decided to take a walk outside the research center, away from the formal crowd. She wanted to understand humans better, and she knew that observing them quietly would reveal more than any speech or display could. Alex joined her, as he had promised to guide her and keep her safe. The streets were busy, but not overwhelming. People moved with purpose, yet they paused to watch the princess walk among them. Some reached out to greet her, but she smiled gently and waved. Her presence did not feel threatening. It felt calm, almost comforting. As they walked, Lyra asked Alex questions about human life. "Why do humans compete so much?" she asked. "I see you all striving for money, power, or recognition. Yet, I also see kindness, generosity, and courage. How do you balance these things?" Alex thought for a moment. "Humans are not perfect," he said. "We make mistakes. Sometimes, we hurt others without meaning to. But, we also try to fix things, to protect people, to build a better world. We balance by learning from our mistakes and caring about each other." Lyra nodded. She had seen many civilizations in her travels, many races who valued power above all. But humans were different. Their strength did not come only from weapons or technology. It came from their hearts. She found that idea fascinating. They stopped by a small fountain in a quiet square. Water sparkled in the morning sun, and birds flew overhead. Lyra knelt slightly, letting her fingers touch the surface of the water. She smiled, faintly. "This is beautiful," she said. "Your species finds beauty in simple things. That is rare in the galaxy." Alex smiled. "Most humans do not notice it," he said. "We are busy surviving, solving problems, working every day. But moments like this, they remind us why we live." Lyra looked at him. His words felt honest, and she felt a warmth in her chest she had not felt before. It was not a feeling of pride or curiosity, but of respect and admiration. She realized that she was drawn to him, not because of what he could offer her, but because of who he was. Their walk continued, and soon they reached a small market. Stalls sold fruits, spices, and handmade crafts. People greeted Alex, many recognizing him from the research center. He nodded politely, offering a smile, but did not stop for long. Lyra watched him closely, noticing how he treated everyone with the same respect, whether they were rich or poor, young or old. "Humans are kind," Lyra said softly, "but they can also be reckless. I have seen your soldiers train with great skill, yet I have seen them fight without wisdom. How do you survive?" Alex laughed quietly. We survive because we care, he said. We fight for each other, not for glory. That makes us stronger than any machine or weapon. Lyra considered his words carefully. She had traveled to thousands of worlds, seen endless wars, and watched civilizations rise and fall. Many believed that strength came from power and numbers. But Alex's words reminded her that strength could also come from something quieter, something deeper. She realized that humans, despite being smaller and less advanced in technology, had a unique power of their own. As they left the market, a loud sound echoed across the city. Alex instinctively moved closer to Lyra. A small ship hovered near the edge of the city. Its design was unfamiliar and aggressive. The city alarms went off, and people ran to safety. Lyra's eyes narrowed. She had expected challenges from her own world, not from here. The ship belonged to a rival alien house that sought to gain influence over her. Their leader, Varak, had already sent messages demanding she return to their territory or face consequences. It was a test of power, one that could determine the fate of Earth if she failed. Alex looked at the ship. "Do we fight?" he asked quietly. Lyra shook her head. "Not yet," she said. "I need to understand their intentions before we act. Sometimes, strength is not shown in combat, but in patience and strategy." Alex nodded. He trusted her judgment, even if he did not fully understand the politics of the galaxy. He knew that she had experience far beyond his own. Yet, he also knew that humans could be resourceful when needed. The rival ship made no aggressive move, only hovered above, observing. Lyra realized that their presence was meant to intimidate, not attack. She turned to Alex. "Humans are unpredictable," she said. "Perhaps that is why they fascinate me. You do not follow the rules of the galaxy. You act with your heart." Alex felt a warmth at her words. I just try to do what is right," he said humbly. Lyra smiled faintly. "And that is why I notice you, Alex Parker," she said. "While others seek to impress me with machines or words, you show who you truly are. That matters more than anything else." They returned to the research center, where scientists and security personnel were preparing for any possible threat. Lyra requested a private room where she could speak with Alex without interruptions. Once alone, she asked him about his life, his dreams, and his fears. Alex spoke simply, honestly, without exaggeration. He told her about growing up in a small town, about his love for machines and problem-solving, and about how he hoped to make a difference in the world in small ways. Lyra listened, fascinated. She had met many leaders, diplomats, and warriors, but few spoke with such clarity and humility. His words were not meant to impress her, yet they left a lasting impression. She realized that humans, in their simplicity, often held the kind of wisdom that even powerful alien civilizations lacked. Hours passed, and the city outside began to quiet as night approached. Lyra stood by the window, looking at the lights below. She thought about the rival ship still hovering above the city, the pressures from her world, and the choices she would have to make in the coming days. Yet, amid all these worries, her thoughts kept returning to Alex. He had shown her patience, honesty, and courage in small, quiet ways. He had not tried to dominate or impress, and yet he had stood out among thousands. She felt a strange pull toward him, a feeling she had not experienced before. It was not desire or curiosity alone. It was respect, admiration, and a growing trust. Alex approached her quietly. "Princess, are you all right?" he asked. Lyra turned to him and nodded. "I am," she said. "You have reminded me that strength does not always come from power or fear. Sometimes, it comes from caring, from small actions that show who we are." Alex smiled. "I hope that is enough," he said softly. Lyra shook her head slightly. "It is more than enough," she replied. "It is rare in the galaxy to find someone like you, Alex Parker. That is why I notice you. The night grew darker, and the stars shone above. Lyra felt a quiet peace she had not known in years. The galaxy was full of politics, wars, and schemes. But here, on this small planet, she had found someone who could teach her something new. Someone who could show her that even humans, who seemed weak in comparison to the stars, had a unique kind of power. As she looked at Alex, standing quietly by her side, she realized that her journey on Earth was no longer just about diplomacy or alliances. It was also about understanding this human, learning from him, and perhaps protecting him. She did not yet know what challenges would come, but she felt certain that together, they could face whatever the galaxy sent their way. And so, as the city slept and the rival ship watched silently above, Princess Lyra began to understand that her time on Earth was the beginning of something far greater than she had imagined. Not only would she learn about humans, but she would also discover the strength that lay in ordinary hearts and the courage that came from simple, honest living. And in that quiet night, Alex Parker, unaware of the full importance of his presence, had already begun to change her world. The morning air was tense. News of the rival ship still hovering over the city spread quickly. People were nervous, and the media called it a possible sign of an attack. Lyra had expected attention from her world, but this was different. Varrock, the leader of a rival alien house, wanted her for himself. He demanded that she leave Earth and join his alliance, or he would take action against humans. Lyra watched the city from the observation deck of the research center. The lights of New York shimmered like tiny stars below. She could see the rival ship, dark and menacing, floating silently above the city. Its presence was a threat, but it had not attacked yet. She wondered why Varrock had chosen this method. Perhaps he thought fear alone could force obedience. Alex stood beside her, looking up at the ship. "Do you think he will attack?" he asked quietly. Lyra shook her head. "Not yet," she said. "He is testing us, trying to see how humans react. He underestimates your strength, Alex. He thinks that because humans are smaller and less advanced, they can be intimidated easily." Alex looked uneasy. "We are not fighters like your world," he said. "What can we do if he decides to strike?" Lyra turned to him. "Strength is not always weapons or technology. Sometimes it comes from courage, intelligence, and determination. Humans have that. I have seen it in you." Alex looked down, unsure what to say. He felt ordinary compared to her and her people, yet her words gave him confidence. Somehow, she believed in him, and that belief mattered more than any weapon. Later that day, Lyra held a meeting with the city's leaders and security teams. She did not want panic to spread. She explained that the rival ship posed a threat, but they could not let fear control their decisions. Plans were made to protect key areas, and civilians were advised to stay calm. Soldiers and engineers worked together, preparing defenses, checking systems, and coordinating strategies. Throughout it all, Alex remained calm. He moved between teams, helping where he could, offering ideas to strengthen the city's defenses. His focus and calm attitude impressed everyone, especially Lyra. She noticed that while others panicked or argued, Alex remained steady. That steadiness was rare, even among her own people. By evening, the rival ship sent a message. Its voice was harsh, mechanical, and commanding. "Princess Lyra, you will come with me. Refuse, and Earth will suffer. Your humans are weak. They cannot protect you." Lyra listened carefully. Her eyes narrowed. She had faced threats before, but this one felt different. It was not just a test of power. It was a challenge to her choice, to her judgment. She turned to Alex. "I need to go to the observatory," she said. "A quiet place to think and plan." Alex nodded. I will go with you, he said. The observatory was far from the city, on a high hill surrounded by trees and quiet fields. It was an ancient structure, older than the city itself, with large windows that looked out over the horizon. Lyra liked it because it offered calm and clarity, away from the noise and tension of politics. Once inside, she activated the observation panels, analyzing the rival ship's movements. Varric thinks humans are weak, she said. He believes that fear can control you. That is his mistake. Humans are unpredictable. That is why I respect your species. Alex looked at the data, trying to understand what they were facing. He has more ships than we have defenses, he said. If he attacks, can we survive? Lyra smiled faintly. It is not only about machines, she said. It is about strategy, courage, and determination. You will see. As night fell, the city lights below glimmered softly. Lyra and Alex spoke quietly, discussing ways to protect Earth and to show Varric that humans were not as weak as he believed. They planned defenses, evacuation routes, and strategies for communication. Every step they took showed Lyra that humans could rise to challenges with intelligence and bravery. Suddenly, alarms sounded. A small scout ship from Varric's fleet approached the observatory. Its energy beams scanned the structure, searching for weaknesses. Soldiers outside were ready to defend, but the situation was tense. Lyra remained calm. She guided Alex to a safe observation point. Do not panic, she said. Watch carefully. Sometimes, knowing what the enemy expects is the first step to victory. Alex watched the scout ship carefully. He noticed its patterns and shared his observations with Lyra. It is scanning, but it moves in a predictable way, he said. If we can use that pattern, we can create a defense without direct confrontation. Lyra nodded. Exactly, she said. Human intelligence, combined with courage, can overcome machines. The night passed with tension, but no attack came. Varric was testing them, watching how humans reacted. Lyra realized that her choice to come to Earth had consequences beyond diplomacy. By being here, she had placed the planet in a dangerous position. Yet, she also saw something inspiring. Humans did not flee in fear. They prepared, they learned, and they adapted. Alex stayed by her side, offering calm advice and quiet courage. Lyra found herself drawn to his presence. It was not just admiration. It was trust. She trusted him more than anyone else in this new world. His bravery was not loud or aggressive, but steady and reliable. That steadiness made her feel stronger, even in the face of Varric's threats. As the morning sun rose, Lyra and Alex reviewed their plans. Soldiers and engineers had strengthened the city's defenses, coordinated communications, and prepared for evacuation if needed. Lyra watched the humans work together, realizing that their greatest strength was not in weapons or ships, but in their spirit. She turned to Alex. I have seen many worlds, she said. Some are strong because of technology, some because of armies. Humans are different. Your strength comes from your heart and your mind. That is rare. Alex felt a warmth at her words. I only try to do what is right, he said. That is enough, Lyra replied. It is more than enough. That is why I trust you, Alex Parker. Even in a world of fear and threats, you remain steady. That is why you stand out. Later that day, the rival ship sent another message. This time, the tone was sharper. Princess, your humans are weak. I give you one last chance. Join me, or face destruction. Lyra did not respond immediately. She looked at Alex. They underestimate humans, she said quietly. They do not see what makes you strong. They only see weakness. Alex nodded. We may be small, but we do not give up, he said. Lyra smiled faintly. Exactly, she said. And that is why I notice you. You are not afraid to stand firm, even when the odds are against you. As evening came, Lyra and Alex watched the rival ship retreat slightly, as if testing their reaction. Lyra realized that Varric believed fear could control humans, but he had underestimated their determination. Alex's calm and steady presence had inspired her, showing her that humans could rise to any challenge. The night grew quiet, but the city below remained alert. Lyra reflected on what she had seen. Humans were not perfect. They could make mistakes, argue, and fail. But they also had courage, intelligence, and a unique spirit. That spirit, combined with the right guidance, could face even the greatest threats. She turned to Alex. Tomorrow will be harder, she said. Varric will test us further. But I am not afraid. Humans have shown me something I did not know before. True strength is not only in power or numbers. It is in courage, in honesty, and in standing firm when the world doubts you. Alex looked at her, feeling a mix of pride and nervousness. I will do my best, he said quietly. Lyra smiled. That is all I ask, she said. And as the stars shone above, both of them understood that the coming days would test their courage, their wisdom, and their trust in one another. But for the first time, Lyra felt that she had found not only a companion, but also a human who could stand beside her, unafraid, steady, and true. The galaxy was full of threats and challenges, but Earth had shown her something more valuable than all the stars she had seen: the spirit of humans, and the heart of a single, honest man who could change the course of events simply by being who he was.